Kuroko no Basket in its simplest form is a show about a passy boy trying to help a jumpy boy become the best basketball player in Japan, and along with their teammates of the Seirin High School Basketball Club, they go through many battles against the series' main antagonists, the Generation of Miracles. But which of these battles was the best one? Was it their battle against Kise, the copy ninja, Midorima, the literal best shooter of all time, Aomine, the guy you'd never want to play horse with, Murasakibara, the Titan shifter, or Akashi, a descendant of the Uchiha clan with his broke-ass emperor eye? For the record, Kise and Midorima are also people you never want to play horse with. But before I get to what the best game is, I want to give you guys my rankings of each game and a small reason as to why they're there. In 8th, I have the first match against Kise, and I feel like this one is pretty obvious. I have it here because compared to every other game, this one is pretty tame and not overly exciting, which is okay because it was the first game of the series. In 7th, I have the first match against Aomine. Why? Pretty simple. It was such a one-sided slaughter they had to have a montage just to show it all. But it was still cool seeing Aomine's abilities. In 6th, I have the second match against Midorima. There isn't really anything wrong with this game, it just wasn't anything new considering we had already seen Midorima's ability and all he did was increase his endurance. Although seeing Kuroko's vanishing drive working against the Generation of Miracles was pretty cool. Not a bad game, just personally not out there for me. In 5th, I have the first match against Midorima. Now this was our first look into Midorima's badassery, and seeing Kagami have to stop the machine was awesome. Also how Taka was able to shut down Kuroko was just as entertaining since up to that point Kuroko wasn't really stopped that often and it gave both our leads something to overcome. In 4th, I have the game against Murasakibara. I gotta be honest, it was pretty tough choosing this one over the first game against Midorima. I really wasn't feeling this game at all when I watched it. Probably because Murasakibara is my least favorite member of the Generation of Miracles. Pretty much the only reason it edged out over the last one was because of how awesome Kagami was in the zone. In 3rd, I have the second match against Kise. All I gotta say for this one is perfect copy. And in 2nd place I have the game against Akashi. Now the reason this is number 2 is because this game does most of the things number 1 does, except that number 1 does it better, and I'll explain how during the video. Now, without further ado, who am I kidding, with the process of elimination, you should already know who number 1 is. The second match against Aomine. Now the second match against Aomine is exciting in its own right, but there is a much bigger reason as to why it is exciting as it is. And in this particular game, it is what has happened in the story up to this point. Before, when Seirin would have to play a Generation of Miracles, it was built up to them as being a Generation of Miracle. No further context, it was just, here's Kise, now go beat him. And when they beat him, it was like, okay, now here's Midorima, now go beat him. And it even happened with Aomine. Once Seirin beat Midorima, it introduced Aomine as the next challenge. For the most part, it all played out the same too. Kagami meets Aomine in the park so we can get a slight glimpse of Aomine's abilities. Then fast forward and bam, it's game time. But there's one pretty big difference between this game and the last few, and that is that Aomine doesn't even show up in the first half. Once Aomine returns, he then goes on to destroy Kuroko and Kagami. But it's okay because after the game, Aomine gets mad at his teammate for badmouthing Kuroko, so it doesn't make you completely hate him. I don't know how much it matters that I mentioned that, but there you go. Anyway, this game was entirely a learning experience for everyone on Seirin. And because of this, Seirin went on multiple training camps and also got back one of their best players, Kiyoshi Teppei, from injury. The important thing here is that it showed Seirin training. They didn't rush any of the training, which is the best thing they could have done. Because of this, we go on this long journey with them trying to become stronger. We get to see Kuroko developing his vanishing drive, and the rest of Seirin develop their own abilities. Then they have to go through preliminaries again just to compete in the Winter Cup and have to overcome hurdles, and that even includes facing Midorima again. And although that was a good game for them, that's not the opponent they want to play the most. No, they want a second chance to beat Toho Academy. To me, by this point of the show, Toho Academy was basically Seirin's rival. Think about it. Aomine plays the same position as Kagami and was Kuroko's best friend in middle school. Kuroko may have said that Kise was his rival, but as a shadow and light, Aomine was definitely the bigger challenge, considering Aomine was Kuroko's first and strongest light. And because of this long journey just to get to the Winter Cup, even if you didn't notice it yourself, just seeing all of that and taking it all in, the journey, it made you care that much more when we finally got there. Whew. So now that we went over the backstory, we can finally get into the game. Everything that happens in this game is like a goddamn roller coaster. This game is literally filled with so many ups and downs, you constantly find yourself on the edge of your seat. So let's go over it, shall we? Seirin tries to get the early lead but fails. Then Kuroko has a pass that Aomine couldn't catch, only for him to catch it the second time he uses it, which was right after Aomine stopped Kuroko's vanishing drive, a drive literally made to be able to pass Aomine. sending him straight to the bench for the remainder of the first half. All of this leads to Kagami being able to unlock his true abilities, which would come to be known as Animal Instinct, and finally giving him the edge over Aomine. Only for Aomine to also have that ability, so it renders Kagami's awakening almost useless. The other characters also get exposed thanks to Momoe's projections, but they are much less focused on, but they didn't really need to be. They did the job. Oh no, but it doesn't stop there. Kuroko finally comes back in the game, only to get marked by Imayoshi until Kuroko bets it all and uses his new ability to finally get an edge over everybody, including Aomine. Everyone's feeling great until you find out once this game is over, Kuroko will actually literally be useless against Toho in the future, because using this ability means that he'll never be able to use misdirection against them ever again. See what I'm talking about? Literally so many ups and downs, and I'm sure I'm missing some. But even then, it still doesn't stop there. While Kagami is low-key feeling himself, Aomine is still just getting warmed up in the 4th quarter. He's so strong that Kagami literally can't handle him anymore, and he needs Kiyoshi and Kuroko's overflow just for him to miss the shot. Yes, finally, Seirin can stop Aomine. But wait, he's not done yet. Time for him to get 100% serious, literally, by entering the zone, which is basically basketball Super Saiyan. If him going in the zone already wasn't enough, Kuroko's overflow was also starting to wear off, so they're literally losing all of their options. Cut to a few more shots of Aomine shitting on everyone, then boom, now Kagami has zone. A battle ensues, Kagami gets the edge over Aomine for a short moment, then Aomine makes the greatest shot in horse history. Then Kagami goes for a dunk, but Aomine is about to block it, and then Kagami finally manages to pass with his left hand, thanks to all his practice since the summer. He passes it to Kiyoshi, and Kiyoshi draws a foul, and now the game comes down to the final rebound. Kagami is able to rebound it and goes for the dunk, and once again, Aomine blocks Kagami's dunk from the rebound. Then next thing you know, Kuroko believes in both Kagami and Aomine, but believes Kagami will make the final shot, which he's correct. Boom, game over, Seirin wins. This game was literally so intense that it felt like the end of the season when it was done. But actually, it was the first game of the entire fucking tournament. I remember when I said this game was better than the Rakuzan game? Well, that's because this game just constantly keeps shifting momentum between two teams, while in the Rakuzan game, Rakuzan basically had complete control throughout the entire first half. And that's fine because it was building toward making the final game one big comeback, but personally for me, the teams going back and forth was much more engaging. Now don't get me wrong, this game is still great. It has some of the best moments in the series. Most of what happens makes sense on how they would be able to come back. One thing I wish they didn't do was have the second door be a big deal. I wish it would have been exactly like how it was for Aomine when he first went zone, and how it just came out of nowhere. I understand the purpose of it was to show everyone that teamwork makes the dream work, because this is shonen we're talking about here, but I wish it played out a little bit differently. Overall a great game, but you won't get the good parts until the second half. Well, that's about it. The Aomine rematch in my opinion is the best game for having so much build up to make you care about it more than you would if you hadn't, even if you didn't realize it. All the drama, sacrifices, and shifting momentum adds to the stakes and keeps you on the edge of your seat. Also with this game, you get to see Aomine's rekindled love for basketball, which from this point made me like his character. Before I didn't like him all that much, but I guess that's what character development is. Anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching till the end. I know this took a while since my last video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like if you did, and let me know in the comments your rankings for these games. Also, if you aren't already subscribed, it would be greatly appreciated if you did. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time.